Hey everyone, on today's video we are recapping the 2024 Greenville Cycling Classic, a part of Speed Week here in the Southeast. Today we are riding with Bryce. Let's jump into the stats. Only a short 30-minute race for us for the 2-3 field, and Bryce's normalized power and average power are kind of skewed because his power meter was dropping out, so those numbers are a little funky. If you guys aren't familiar, Speed Week is a week-long race crit series here in the Southeast, primarily in the Carolinas and in Georgia. It is the cream of the crop for the Southeast racing. We have a ton of national riders that come out. If you're in the lower categories like we are, the 2-3 race or anything lower than that, everyone that is anyone that is looking to climb the ranks comes to Speed Week. If you guys haven't made it down, come check it out. It is a banger. All right, we are jumping straight into this thing. Lap 1. So this is a new course. We haven't raced in Greenville in, I believe they said 8 to 10 years. And from the gun, the field is hot. So we have Bryce, Nick, and myself in this race. And then we have two more teammates, John Chen and Logan. So we have 5 teammates in this race. And guys, this course is super cool. We're going to do one full lap for you. So now we're on just came out of turn 2. We're on the long downhill backstretch. It kind of drops in right here and it narrows up for the really technical turn 3. Boom. But we have a huge exit on turn 3. This guy right in front of Bryce wasn't taking it well. Everyone has a little bit of nerves going into turn 1 or going to lap 1. But you can already see up the road, there's already gaps opening up. The field is getting shredded. And we have a junior rider in the group today, super strong. And then we have a bunch of other hitters. Right here we have a font rider or a niche rider coming through. I can't remember. He's in the dark green kit. Then we have the Alto Velo rider right in front of Bryce in the orange and blue. But guys, here's one super fast lap at the Greenville Cycling Classic. This course was lights out, really fun. We didn't really know what to expect. We tried to pre-ride this thing as much as we could. Here comes turn 1, super fast. Probably the best turn of the day. All right, let's go ahead and skip ahead. All right, we are just a little bit later in this lap, and you can see there's just gaps opening up everywhere. So no rear cam today, but if you look behind Bryce, the field is super strung out. And check out this little cobble brick section we have to ride through. This is an uphill right here coming into the second to last turn. So going uphill, you can really hug the inside line right there. All right, real quick, we're going to switch over to Nick's cam. And so behind me and Bryce, here's some shenanigans that are happening, some crashes and stuff like that. We're going to take this right-hander, look up ahead, have a bit of a cross of wheels. Rider goes down. That was one of our buddies from Charlotte. He ended up getting back up and ended up being okay. All right, we're switching back over to Bryce's cam. The whole first 5 to 10 minutes of this race were everyone was just throwing bangers. We were trying to catch Enzo Hincapie, the junior rider, who was up off the front. Just a lap or so later, skipping ahead, Bryce had just been on the front doing a mega pull coming through. Here I come through, trying to stay on the front right here. And we were trying to keep the junior rider in sight. Super strong. He's climbing the ranks. And it's just we're learning really quickly that there's just not many places to recover on this course. It is super fast. It's kind of all downhill and then all uphill on the back side of the course, where this part of the front stretch was really the only place you could try to recover. You had to be really smooth through this corner. All right, we're going to skip ahead even more. We are blowing through this thing, guys. It's only 30 minutes, so we're trying to keep this thing hot. All right, Bryce is falling back a little bit. I'm up on the front right now. I just got doing a full lap pull to try and keep the junior rider in sight. We have one rider all the way up the road, and he's kind of checking out on us. Bryce is yelling at Nick right now to throw an attack to really get me off the front, or I'm going to blow my load way too early. And as soon as Nick does that, there's a huge counter by Kingdom Elite Racing rider Noah. He rides with us here in Charlotte as well. And you can see me right in front of Bryce. I'm kind of wavering just a little bit, letting gaps opening up, trying to take this corner super fast. This was a fun corner, guys. It was really slick right there in turn 2 with those cobbles and the bricks in the road. So you had to be really, really careful. All right, this backstretch right here, let's talk about it a little bit more. There's potholes in the road everywhere. It's slightly downhill, but we're going 30 miles an hour, so you kind of got to stay on the pedals a little bit. and you really have to protect your inside. Bryce is yelling inside right here, and you just rip this turn. And man, guys, there's a pothole right to the left of it. It's really hard to see in the video, but it drops down to a really big exit, and you just smash, 600 to 700 watts every single time you come out of turn 3. All right, pushing ahead. 10 minutes in. I have dropped off the back right here. I'm kind of behind these guys right now. We got to crash right up the road. Slick left-hand turn. Rider goes down. Unfortunately, it was our buddy Noah with Kingdom Elite Racing. He ended up being okay. He ended up racing the next couple days, but you had to be really careful right there with turn 3 because it narrowed up on the entry. Most of these corners today, we were doing a lot of late apexes to really make sure we got a straight line coming out of the corners. Ripping this turn, man, this thing was so fun yet so terrifying, and Bryce is doing some mega power right here. If you look up the road, we've got still a ton of gaps opening up left and right, coming around some DDP and super riders. We got a super junior rider in front of us coming over this cobble section. Really, really tough. Think about gravel, guys. You're just having to throw down power the whole time, and that's what you had to do every single lap in that section. It was really rough. If you're running 25 or rim brakes, it was not the tire to run. Definitely run bigger tires on this course. Bryce is having to put a huge effort right in here to close this thing down up to the lead chase group of 4 riders. Unfortunately, Bryce's power meter is kind of blipping in and out, so some of the data is not going to show up correctly. But this is the race, guys. It's just constant aggression. And then we'll skip ahead right here. We are about 15 minutes in now, guys. We switched over to Nick's cam and check out 2 riders in front, the super rider. As we go into turn 3, most technical fast turn section of the day, boom, the super rider decides not to turn and just likes to take a nap with the barriers. Man, the spectators right there got a lap full of the super rider. Luckily, he was okay and continued racing for the rest of the series. But man, you had to be on it right there on turn 3, or you really paid the price. All right, skipping ahead, 23 minutes in. Reminder, it's only a 30-minute crit, and it's just been lights out the entire time. It has been single file. There really hasn't been many huge attacks or bunches or slowing in the pace. This is really the first big slow up of the race, and teammate Nick's feeling good. He's going to go straight to the front, keep the pace high. Looking back at this footage, I wish he would have kind of set in a little bit. There was really no need to attack right here, being so late in the race. But he gets on the front, puts in some work for the guys, keeps it strung out again. Bryce is having to pay the price from taking a little bit of a suspect corner, throwing out over 1,100 watts out of there. Unfortunately, when Nick gets on the front right here, he doesn't really get much of a gap. Everyone was super hungry. It's a short crit. People are still fresh. It's the first day of Speed Week. People are super psyched. And in my opinion, I wish Nick would have waited a little bit. Unfortunately, this was our first time doing this course. Everybody's first time, really. So we'll take those tactics and we'll try and implement them for next year. But as you can see, guys, this is the main group. The rest of the field is shattered. There's only 10 or 12 riders in this chase group. We still have Enzo Hincapie all the way up the road. He is gone. He's going to win the race today in a solo breakaway from lap 1 from the gun. Props to him, super strong. But the commentators were just in love with him. I know it's Greenville, it's local to him, but it seemed a little bit much. But he definitely showed out and proved how strong he was today. All right, guys, I digress. Get off my soapbox. Coming into 2 to go right here. We're going to hang out for these last 2 laps. Bryce is still slotting in. He's kind of just been surviving this whole race. He's running super hot, man. Running in the 180s for Bryce he's doing a big effort. And whenever this whole backstretch is 30 miles an hour, it's just hard to recover right through here. So again, lead chase group is about 10 to 12 riders. The rest of the field, which is I believe was about 40 of us, was just blown off the back. Pace was too high, crashes got in the way, stuff like that. So Bryce is just trying to maintain these last 2 laps Me and a couple teammates have been pulled. We were a few seconds behind, and just to clear the course, they pulled us. It's one of those things, hey, it's Speed Week. You've got the most elite competition you're going to have all year this week during these races. Sometimes you got to be smart. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you don't. But Bryce is kind of doing everything he can right here to stay sheltered, to kind of save one more effort to try and do something. Again, this is later in the race is really the only time it kind of got really bunchy and side by side, but the pace is still super, super high. Coming into 1 to go now. We've got riders trying to be super aggressive. This is the best turn of the course, turn 1. Bryce does a great job, make sure he's maintaining wheels. Getting tight into turn 2. And then as soon as it comes out, it gets single file because the speed ramps up and it starts going downhill. Highly recommend, guys. You've seen all the Speed Week videos. You've seen all the courses. They live stream this thing. Come check it out. And as soon as I say that, Bryce throws his Hail Mary attack on the downhill. You see one rider up the road. That's a single chase rider. Bryce is going to rip this turn. Riding the edge, hugging the barriers, almost kissing the feet. 1,100 watts out of this thing. Right here, Bryce checks his shoulder, and unfortunately the guys are right on. This Tayrun rider jumped on his wheel perfectly, and everyone's going to come through on Bryce. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough riders to kind of contest this thing, and Bryce threw his Hail Mary attempt. Here comes Nick rolling through, doing a great job. And Bryce is going to kind of roll home safely, keep it upright. Coming around like 10th or 12th on the day. Man, guys, really, really fun course. Brutal race for being so short. And that is it, guys. This is the first race of Speed Week. We have a couple more rolling down that we'll show you for Spartanburg and Athens. Appreciate y'all watching.